think there's actually three different types of loyalty that you might think about when you're thinking of a loyalty program. A lot of times those are all kind of mixed into one. The one that most people think of, even hoteliers, when you say loyalty program, is kind of that, how do I get more people to stay at my one property, right? And I call that hotel loyalty. It's a very, very fancy name for that. But actually, I think most of the time that's probably the least powerful bit of a loyalty. And the other two I'll talk about in a second are network loyalty and channel loyalty. And why do I say that hotel loyalty is the least powerful? Well, a lot of times when someone chooses a hotel or chooses to return to a hotel, it's because they love something about the property. They love something about the staff. And the loyalty that's engendered from that, from loving a hotel, actually probably transcends anything else. You can give extra incentive to come back to that hotel, but if they didn't like it the first time, they're probably not going to come back again. And it assumes that, that person has a chance to come back to that property. If you're in the Maldives, hotel loyalty, maybe someone's going to go there multiple times. It might be the one honeymoon they go to in their life, right? And they go there. So that's hotel loyalty. The second thing, which I think most people are most familiar with, is network loyalty. And that's kind of what the big brands are all about, right? So it's harnessing the power of the group of hotels to get people to increase consideration, as Tim said. And they hope that network can create trial of the property. So when they're selecting from 1,000, they narrow it down to 50 maybe, right? And I think that it's important because if they consider the property because of the network loyalty, they stay at that property, then that's when hotel loyalty can kick in, right? They like the property, they like the experience, they like the staff. And then they're like, I'm going to keep going back here because I already like this network program that I see. But by and large, the big network loyalty programs, the big chains, they're really just focusing on, when you see a promo, it's not for one hotel. It's usually a set of hotels, or it's the whole system. Double points in the month of March, or whatever it might be. And then the last piece that I think is probably the most under-recognized that Tim touched on is channel loyalty. And when I used to be GM of the W Istanbul, Istanbul has a lot of independent hotels and very few chain hotels. And this is back in 2010 to 2012. I would have lunch with my GM colleagues once a month, and we'd be talking about stuff. And always the topic of OTAs killing the independents came up. And I thought to myself, boy, I don't even really think about that much at my hotel back in 2010, 2012. Why is that? And the reason that the W had so much direct booking business was because of SVG, right? You couldn't get the points or the benefits or status if you didn't book direct. So it wasn't they had a great booking experience, it was better than the OTAs. It's just people knew, if I want to get that loyalty benefit, if I want to get those things that are important to me, I have to choose the right channel, and that right channel is direct. So as far as bottom line value to a property, if you can entice someone to change where they book once they've decided on the property, we all know, people look around many places and they oftentimes land on direct. If you can change their reason to book direct through loyalty initiatives, that channel loyalty delivers huge results to the bottom line. For an independent, it could be 20% savings. Of course, you're going to have some economics to pay the loyalty program, but by and large, there's a huge arbitrage there if you can get them to change. And I think hotels, especially in this day and age, they need to really look at channel loyalty.
What I think is it. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. I was just going to pop in here real quick. It's funny that you say that, Jim, because we've been looking a lot recently on ways to drive demand, in this post-COVID world. And one of the things that we've been seeing is that data is showing that both loyalty programs and OTAs are kind of showing early stages of growth. And what's interesting is back in 2008, when the financial crisis hit, it was really only the OTAs. So I think you're really onto something with this new shift in how brands are really kind of pushing that book direct. It's that those effects are being seen now.
Yeah, Pete, I think after 9/11 and the recession that happened after that, and then after the Great Recession, hotels have learned their lesson that they need to do something. And hopefully they're doing, they're giving more value than on the OTA to create that channel loyalty.
Yeah, and I was just going to add before that, what's interesting is, there's lots of different reasons that guests choose a hotel. And one of, like, you can look at network loyalty also as brand loyalty, right? So if a hotel is part of a brand that you know and you like, then that sort of also fits in there, but that doesn't necessarily translate directly into channel loyalty all the time. And so that's where sort of a loyalty program, you know, sitting on top of sort of a group of brands or a brand, you know, ties both of those together. Which, when you think about hotel loyalty, you know, part of the issue is your base that you can actually market to, you know, is limited to generally the people who have stayed there before. And, you know, the majority of guests are going to be people who have never stayed there before. And so touching on network and channel is huge for driving demand. And when those two are tied together, that's, you know, really where you can, you know, drive that demand, but also make more money with every single room.